Good evening and good Shabbos.
Good evening and good Shabbos.
Welcome to all the stalwarts that are here on this rainy, cold winter night. And to everyone who's joining us by live stream, we'll begin with Hine Matov on page 10. Turn back to page 2 for the candle lighting of the Shabbat candles. And I invite Faseli Romes to join me for Light These Lights and the candle lighting blessings on page 2.
Hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kedishanu mimitzvot b'sivanu leharnitne cher Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We turn to pages 20 and 21 for Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Ishli anu echad echad. Shalom ated bala, Tam besimcha v'tola, Toch emunei, Tam segula, Orichala, Orichala. Likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mikabela. Likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat mikabela.
We are seated, and we turn to page 22 as we welcome Shabbat with the Psalm for Shabbat, Mizmor Shir.
Mizmor Shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehadot la'Adonai. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor Shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehadot la'Adonai. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Elagid haboker chastecha, ve'emunacha beliלות, alei asorei aleina, ve'lalecha gidyon bechinot. Mizmor Shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehadot la'Adonai. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon.
And we rise in body or in spirit for Reader's Kaddish, page 26, as we transition to the evening service.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
B'yalma divrach hirutei, yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'hayedechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, uv'yizman kariv, v'miru, amen.
Yehi
Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam me'olmaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabat, v'yitpar v'yitrumam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalahol, shemei l'kudesha barichu. Le'olomim kol brakata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalma, v'miru, amen.
Page 28.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Lie, 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 Adonai,
page 34 for Shema.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Achato Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kivod Achato Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. We'll continue with Thou Shalt Love, Ve'ahavta, page 36.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. Thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and they shall speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, when thou risest up, when thou risest up. Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. Thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon the high gates, and upon the high gates, that ye shall remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
And we continue with the third blessing related to Kriyat Shema, the recitation of the Shema, and that would be, in this case, Mi Chamocha as Miriam's song, page 342.
And the women dancing with the timbrel followed of Miriam as she sang her song. Sing the song, the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove which one would sing our history. And every thread and everything she crafted turned to light. A woman touched with spirit as she danced through the night. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed of Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. When Miriam stood upon the shore and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, into it passed to freedom and much promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed of Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. And Miriam the prophet took her jewel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice and song, she sang with praise and might, and just look for a miracle we're doing it tonight. And the women dancing with the timbrels followed of Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. Mi Chamocha and Mi Madonai, Mi Chamocha and Tabakole, Dora Tehilo, Do Seifele, Dora Tehilo, Do Seifele.
And we conclude our four blessings surrounding the Shema, Hashkivenu, page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Amideinu Shomrenu Lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Amideinu Shomrenu Lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Amideinu Shomrenu Lechayim.
Now we move in to the celebration of Shabbat as we prepare for the Amidah with Vishamru, page 44, Yes. And the front row twirlers know that they are ready to lead the rest of us in the choreography to this particular prayer.
Shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha'Shabbat Lasot et ha'Shabbat l'doratim berit olam. Shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha'Shabbat Lasot et ha'Shabbat l'doratim berit olam. Bein uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha'Shabbat Lasot et ha'Shabbat l'doratim berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha'shamayim v'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha'Shabbat Lasot et ha'Shabbat l'doratim berit olam. Uv'hayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha'Shabbat Lasot et ha'Shabbat l'doratim berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha'Shabbat Lasot et ha'Shabbat l'doratim berit olam.
I don't know if you caught it while you were spinning, but you had some back row competition on this side. Ladies in the front. Well done back there. I thought maybe not today. All right, so back to the Siddur. We're just about ready for the Amidah. We're going to rise in body or in spirit, and we'll begin with Adonai Svatai Tiftach on page 46. We'll sing together through Atah Kadosh, and then there'll be time for silent meditation or prayers of the heart.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Hastei Avot V'Imachod, Umevi Gula Lifnei V'Nechem, Liman Shemo B'Yakava, Melech Otzer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Izrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav L'Koshia, Mashif HaRuach HaMarit HaGeshem, Michael Hayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somef Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayeh Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'gevurot, Umido Mehelach, Melech Me'it Umekayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanatav l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. ata kadosh, Bishimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim bechol yom, Ya'alelecha selah, Baruch atah strive to be holy, declare your glory day by day. Blessed is our God, blessed is the one, the world ablaze with splendor. Ata kadosh, Bishimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim bechol yom, Ya'alelecha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
When you've concluded your silent meditation, you may be seated. We'll meet on page 60.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atah melech Adon lekol hashalom. Ki atah melech Adon lekol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. B'tov b'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol ein ub'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
In just a moment, we'll continue with the Mishaberach for those who are sick, the Mishaberach L'cholim. First, I'll read the list, and it's still kind of long, and then I'll pause to see if there are any other names that you want to add. We are keeping in mind right now Harvey Adelsky, Sherry Alexander, Lucille Alina, Gary Atkins, Richard Barker, Betty Berlin, Lynn Birmingham, Ray Clark, Bruce Cohen, Isidore Cohen, Nicholas Catrone, Mary Davis, Stephen Despens, Clark DeVoskin, Mitch Earl, Alan Eisen, Carrie Ehrlich, Aaron and Roz Feingold, Laura Florence, Bobby Fredrickson, Lauren Friedman, Max Gans, Tom Gorgon, Rick Hack, George Campbell Hamilton, Frederick Herman, Braden Hink, Laura Jacoby, Maria Javier, John Jenkins, Linda Jenkins, Shannon Jenkins, Charles Jones, Lila Kaminer, Jackie Capstein, Bob Kershaw, Marilyn Krasnov, Cindy Levine, Ansley Levy, Ken Levy, Marcia Levy, Dorothy London, Asa Luo, Liz Lyman, Lisa Macklin, Paul Melnick, Arnold Meyer, Esta Mitchell, Phyllis Mix, Lowell Morrow, Shayna Moshe, Greg Mosher, Mark Newerman, Arthur Newman, Joyce Newman, Lynn Prisant, Aharon Ben Yocheved, Leah Bat Mindel, Yona Bitzalel Ben Chava Shoshana, Zelda Itta Bat Malka, Kathy Rasnick, Marjorie Romes, Deborah Rowan, Peyton Rowland, Norman Rosenblatt, Sherry Rosenblum, Barry Savage, Patty Savage, Lisa Schaefer, Brian Schneider, Eric Schuster, Lee Sexton, Nancy Shallett, Carter Silk, Nicole Aronson Silverman, Debbie Singerman, David Skolny, Arthur Slutza, Linda Spitzer, Brenda Wadler, Dr. John Sid Williams, Dr. Walter Wolf, Faye Yeager, Yarden Meir Ben Yitzchak, and Paul Zale. Are there any other names? Page 253.
Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And our last prayer is a prayer for peace in Israel during wartime, still, on the blue cards in your Sidurim. Please join me in the English. Rock and Redeemer of the people of Israel, guardian of the covenant, bless and protect the state of Israel and all of her inhabitants. Guard this good land established with liberty, justice, and peace, as conceived by the prophets of Israel. Open the hearts and minds of all the leaders of the nation, her sons and her daughters, to guide them in the paths of peace and justice with true strength and wisdom. Strengthen the hands of those who defend and protect our holy land, and crown their efforts with success, that they might establish your reign of righteousness, free from all oppression and fear. May the work of their hands be established, and the words of your prophets be fulfilled. and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, nor shall they learn war any more. Amen. Well, here we are. Moses is still up on Mount Sinai, having left Aaron and Joshua and the 70 elders in charge of all the people, and they, that is the people, have gotten themselves into a little bit of trouble. First, they have grown weary of waiting for Moses to return. They have lost faith in his leadership. And so they gather themselves against Aaron, whining that they don't know where that man Moses has gone. What's become of him? And demanding that he, Aaron, make gods for them, gods that they can see. You all know what happens next. Yeah? I don't need to say it. You can say it. Aaron gets involved with them and he says, give me all of the earrings that are on your wives and your sons and your daughters. That's right. Men were wearing earrings then. And he collects all of the gold and he does some, I don't know, mumbo jumbo, and there's a stylus, and he fashions it into the golden calf. Meanwhile, God has already given Moses the 2 tablets of the covenant, and he's told Moses, God tells Moses what the people have done, the trouble that they've gotten into. And then God says in great detail, with not a little bit of anger, that God would like to destroy these people. I'll make you a new people, Moses. These people, they're no good. And then Moses does something unexpected, or maybe not unexpected, and he defends the people. And if you want to know more about that, you'll have to come to Torah study tomorrow, because that's where we're going to start. And he's so effective in his defense, which you can hear about tomorrow morning, that God relents. And he says to Moses, you better get back down the mountain and go deal with those people. Go see what those people have gotten themselves up to. And then we have this verse, Vayifen vayered Moshe min hahar. And Moses turned his back on God. Moses turned and he went down the mountain. Ushne luchot ha'edut biyado, and it only says one hand. And the 2 tablets of the covenant were in his hand. So not the Mel Brooks version. Luchot ktuvim mishnei evrehem. The tablets inscribed on their 2 sides. Ever, right, is the side. On their 2 sides. Mizeh umizeh heim ktuvim. From this side and from this side they were inscribed. And these are the 2 tablets that are inscribed, we're told, by the finger of God. God wrote these 2 tablets. Now this is the verse that really interests me. The next verse is about God writing the 2 tablets, but we don't have time for that tonight. This verse, verse 15, is the one that really interests me, and it also interests the Ishbitzer Rav, Mordechai Yosef Lehner, also known as Mei HaShiloach. And I remember at the beginning of Exodus, I think I brought in that very thick, Mei HaShiloach is the name of his book, The Running Waters. And he lived in 1801 to 1854, so he was not very long-lived. But I didn't bring the big Mei HaShiloach. I just brought, again, life lessons from recently dead rabbis, Chassidut for the people. And he is not so recently dead, but the Mei HaShiloach also was really interested in this verse, because this verse is really strange, right? Mizeh umizeh. On this side and on this side they were inscribed. What does that mean? So Mei HaShiloach explains, and it's very, very tiny, so I typed it up bigger here. In the Talmud, in Masechet Shabbat, page 104, side A, Rav Chisda explains what Rav Chisda thinks this means. He says, the writing on the tablets was read or readable, right, from the inside, from one side of the tablets, and read from the outside, the other side of the tablets, in reverse order. So think kind of a cutout, but only like a divine cutout, right? Because if you cut out those letters, like if you make them on a stencil and you punch them out, it wouldn't be that they would reverse order. It would just be that they were backwards. Okay, and this was what was written on the tablets. Nevuv was read instead of nun, vav, bet, right? It was read bet, vav, bet, nun, or buban. Instead of nevuv, buban. Rachav was read as bet, he, resh, or bahar. Saru was vav, resh, samech, or varas. So then the Ishbitzer Rav, because I don't know what that means either. So that didn't really help me understand what Rav Chisda was saying. So he says, this is what Rav Chisda meant when he said this. That the writing on the tablets was read from the inside, from one side of the tablets, and read from the outside on the other side of the tablets in reverse order. And he gives 3 examples of what that might have looked like. And I still don't get it, but I'm very visual. So he says, this is what Rav Chisda meant. The words of Torah have the power to change the heart of a person, to flip you from one side to another altogether. Nevuv. This is a person who is hollow and empty. But words of Torah can fill that hollow, empty person with great understanding. And they are reversed from hollow, nevuv, to full, buban. Rahav is a person who is filled with cravings, a person who is covetous of strange or foreign things. But through the words of Torah, this one can change and become separate from his desires. Up on the mountain, Bahar, like Har Sinai. That is the opposite of Rahav. Up on the mountain, Bahar, one is elevated. One is elevated over the false idols. So you can kind of see where he's going with this, the Ishbitzer. Moses, when he's up on the mountain, he is elevated. And he is on the mountain over the people who have been craving this God that they can see, this false idol. But this is the one that I think I really wanted to sit with tonight. Saru. Saru is a person who is angry, someone who is controlled by their anger and can't overcome it. This one, through words of Torah, can turn their heart to good, can extinguish the fiery anger. So Saru becomes Ras, Resh, and the Resh comes first, right? Vav, Resh, Samach, Viras, which seems to mean to soften. So someone who is controlled by their out of control, angry emotions, through filling themselves with words of Torah, can extinguish that fire or soften or moisten it, soften that anger or moisten it the same way that water moistens fine flour. So now, I want to just take us back to what happens when Moses comes down the mountain. And now you can really think about Mel Brooks if you want. Or the 10 Commandments version, Cecil B. DeMille. Or I'm pretty sure it happens also, does it, in Prince of Egypt? I don't remember. Moses comes down the mountain, and he is so angry at the people. As angry as God was, and he talked God out of destroying the people, Moses comes down, and his anger, the same word that's used for God's anger, chara'af, his anger is on fire. It flares up. Not only against the people, but against Aaron too. And he's holding the 2 tablets, presumably in his strong hand. Maybe he was right-handed. And he cannot overcome, he cannot extinguish that anger. And what does he do? He throws those, yes, thank you, Karina. He throws those tablets down and smashes them at the feet of the people. And that's the part that we remember because that's the part that's really dramatic and in the movie version. But if you want to come tomorrow morning, I know I'm plugging it hard. If you read it in the actual text, it's even worse because his anger is not softened. When the tablets smash, you would think that would be the release of all of that anger. But boy, he really lets them have it after that. And he goes a little bit out of control. I would say he takes the law into his own hands, but he's flung the law down and smashed it. I love this message, this life lesson from the recently dead rabbi of the Ishbitzer Rav, because he talks about this really strange verse that nobody really understands what this means. Rav Chisda doesn't really know what it meant, but this idea that these 2 tablets were so precious, they were written by God's own hand, if God's own finger, if God had a finger. And Moses has the chutzpah, or simply the lack of control of his anger. Moses destroys that which was created by God's own hand, the very law that he is supposed to be transmitting to the people for God. He loses his control over his emotions. And Rav Chisda is saying that he had it in his hand. The very tablets that he held in his hand were the key to helping him control that anger. And I think this is the message that we're supposed to learn, is not to be like Moses, but that we have the Torah. I mean, not in our own hands, but we have the Torah, not written by God's hand, but written by a trained scribe. Century after century, they learn how to write every letter so that it's perfect, and to write God's name. We keep it in the special cabinet. We take it out and we read from it. We study it day and night. We teach it to our children. That we actually, if we follow this Hasidic teaching, that the Torah, the power of Torah, can reverse all of the negative qualities in us, can elevate us so that we can control our anger, that we can do a better job than Moses himself, than Moshe Rabbeinu. As long as we hold the Torah close to us, we'll be okay. And I hope that that's how we will be in the coming week. And I wish you all Shabbat Shalom. You're coming back. All right. We'll rise in body or in spirit for Aleinu on page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latek gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asagir aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chalkenu kachem, vigor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim, Umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushimo echad.
You may be seated for a moment. Before reciting Mourner's Kaddish, we'll announce the names of our loved ones whose yahrzeits are observed this week. If you are here for the yahrzeit of a loved one, or if you are in mourning, you may rise if you wish when I read their names. And I just wanted to make a note. I know that the death of Barbara Rubin Pizik was announced last week, and the burial still hasn't taken place. There's a delay because of military, VA burial. In the meantime, though, we don't want the family to still be in limbo, so we have added her to the recently passed, the 11-month list. So we'll keeping her in mind and the family in mind, although the burial and the funeral have not taken place yet. I know the congregation was also informed, and when there's more news about a local memorial service, we'll let you know. Okay, this week, the week of March 1st, we observed the yahrzeits of Jack Beck, Morris Cohn, Dan Coker, Reba Corley, John Finati, Solomon Goldberg, Anna Gulick, Jenny Heiss, Joan Heller, Ellen Holt, Helene Karasik, Richard Karasik, Alan Keston, Marcia Kurtz, Ruth Marks, Harriet Mills, Jonah Wilson Moy, Lois Parker, Joseph Reif, Francis Schlacht, Benjamin Schwartz, George Schwartz, Carl Singer, and Betty Yanowitz. And on our recently passed list, Edith Ekber, Jay Anthony, Marcia Kurtz, Bernice Bunny Meyer, Melody Hudgens, Philip Kaufman, Jessica Berkeley, Eva Rothstein, David Bemis, Henry Meininger, Bridget Paon, Dennis Lebo, Sandy Fay, Stephen Ekber, Ellen Marcia Katz, Sydney Schneider, Melvin Kiner, Francis Reef, Sandra Slutza, Mary Thoburn, Erica Goldstone, James Corley, David Reckman, Judith Siegel, Norman Spitzer, Joanne Hankins, Helene Holtzman, and Barbara Rubin Pizik. Please, if you are not already standing, we rise in body or in spirit, and please join me as we join in community to recite the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, b'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei umaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram b'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Okay, you may be seated unless you have a birthday this month, in which case I invite you to come forward. There is chocolate, we will sing to you. Come on down. Are you the only one? You get all the chocolate, for sure. Oh wait, hang on, Hal's on his way too. Oh. It's not nice. Don't pick. You should be. No. You got to be respectful to your elders there. Are you having a birthday too?
No, it's my sister's and my dad's and my uncle's. So can I come up for my sister?
I guess that's kosher. Sure. Are you going to give her the chocolate then? Okay. All right. I don't know. Line up in size order, age order? Order by height, alphabetical order by height. Tell us who you are and when your birthday is.
Richard Brenner, March 18th, and I'll be 67.
Oh, mazel tov, mazel tov.
Hal Schlinger, March 27th.
My sister's birthday is March 8th, and she's turning 13.
Oh,
And her name
that's
is
a big
Ariella
birthday.
Romes.
And wait, I thought your uncle too?
His birthday is today.
Is today? Well,
Wait. Okay, here's yours.
And my dad's birthday is on the
Here's
same day
yours.
as my sister's.
Thank you. That's not a problem.
okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take this back from you. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to sing to you. And there we go. Samea
Yom Haledet Sameach. Yom Haledet Sameach. Yom Haledet Sameach.
And many more. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Until 120, you all. Okay. All right. Well, this is very exciting. I don't have the announcements. Does anybody have them? Is there a board member here who's been assigned? I don't know. I thought Paul was getting up because he was coming down.
Well, we know next Friday we have a special guest. Stacy Bayer is
Okay.
going to be doing services.
Yeah. Oh, you want to
Music?
go ahead and?
No, I thought you just said you had nothing, so I was
got,
just filling
I
in.
got nothing, but may I direct your attention to the many incredible things that are going on here at TKE inside your program. So don't trash those on the way out. Take them home with you so you have them. I would call your attention just to, where is that? Oh, in the upcoming Shabbat services. So next week, you may have heard is the WRJ, Shabbaton. And yes, there's a special flyer for that as well. And our special guest cantorial soloist who will be doing most of the heavy lifting, I think, right, for both of us.
She will,
Yes, Stacy Bayer will be here, and Blake and I are really excited because she's going to do almost all of the prayers and also a sermon in song. You won't want to miss that. And I do have one announcement. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Burial. That's great. Okay, so Men's Club Recycling Day. I mean, there's just endless things going on. There's another opportunity to support the Atlanta Community Food Bank on their Hunger Walk Run Day, which is that same Sunday, recycling. And then, a couple of weeks from now, it's going to be my favorite holiday. They're all my favorite, but you won't want to miss Seussical, the Juicicle. That's the Perm Spiel on March 22nd. Anyway, and I just have one other thing that didn't make the cut, and Cindy asked me to share it with you. I am so pleased to share that Temple Kol Emeth will be co-hosting a Table of Abraham program with our friends from the Atlantic Institute on Sunday, March 17th at 7 p.m. We will be having an iftar meal with the communities of the Atlantic Institute and St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Church. And I will have the privilege of speaking along with Father Dan Fleming of St. Thomas Aquinas and Mr. Kamal Kurisu, a dear old friend of mine from the Atlantic Institute, about the spiritual significance of fasting in each of our faith traditions. After sundown, everyone will share an iftar meal. That is the break fast for Muslims during the month of Ramadan. And that will take place right here at TKE because we have the space for it. And even though we have the space for it, it's 3 communities coming together and space is limited. So you must RSVP as soon as you get home. RSVP ASAP. Visit the calendar on the website, and if you go to the calendar on March 17th and click on the event, that link will take you to a ticket leap so that we can get a head count. It is a free event, and we want as many people there as possible, and it'll be really good food. So anyway, I hope you can make it. And after Kiddush and Motzi, please return your Sidurim to the back of the sanctuary. There are some volunteers that will help you get them on the cart. Thanks, volunteers. And we rise in body or in spirit for Kiddush and Motzi. And twirlers can definitely help with Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi motzi lachem min haaretz. Amen.
Y'all get the first piece. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
See you at the
shalom.
oneg. Oop. I shall not stray from the table further. Look what I did this week. I didn't